The throne room of Zephyrian extended infinitely, its walls of crystal shimmering with bioluminescent veins that created haunting shadows over the gathered court. Emperor Vexthal reclined on his biomechanical throne, his forearms waving dismissively as he spoke to the human delegation below. The Emperor's voice echoed through his translator implant, laced with a tone of superiority. The primitive Terrans sought to acquire one of our war dragons for their minor uprising against the hegemony. James Mitchell stood rigidly, his worn mechanics coveralls starkly contrasting with the lavish attire of the alien courtiers surrounding him. Next to him, Nazraman kept her diplomatic demeanor intact, even in the face of the clear derision in the Emperor's voice. As the chief negotiator for the human resistance, she had faced far worse insults. "Your Majesty," Naz responded calmly, "we provide just compensation for any dragon you choose to sell. Our cause is righteous." Righteous? Vexthal's cackling laughter reverberated through the corridors. Humans believe their small rebellion holds significance in the vastness of the galaxy. "Certainly, I will fulfill your request." His main eyes sparkled with wicked delight. "However, it wasn't exactly what you anticipated." The Emperor signaled to his attendants, who brought forth a colossal creature on a hovering platform. The dragon was stunning, even with its visible limitations. Its serpentine body was adorned with scales that transitioned from deep purple to silver, yet its wings drooped lifelessly at its sides. Neural interface ports along its spine flickered unpredictably, and one of its hind legs contorted at an unnatural angle. "Behold Zirian," Vexthal proclaimed dramatically. "Once the jewel of my naval armada. Damage to the neural pathways caused by a plasma storm. Pointless. Feathers. Fractured bone." He leaned in, relishing the experience. "View it as a present for your futile endeavor. Maybe you could train it to roll over and play dead, just as your kind will inevitably do." The courtroom burst into harsh laughter. James moved ahead, disregarding the taunts, and made his way toward the dragon. Zirian's enormous head shifted in his direction, and James discovered himself gazing into eyes that possessed not the wild cunning of an animal, but something much more profound. Agony, irritation, and an unwavering sense of pride. "We accept," James said softly, his rough hand lightly brushing against the dragon's snout. 3 months later, Emperor Vexthal was presented with reports that chilled him to the bone. The human rebellion had targeted 17 hegemony supply convoys in just 1 week, yet it wasn't the tactical successes that troubled him. The manner in which they were accomplished. "Unthinkable," he spat, scrutinizing the battle footage in his secluded quarters. "Can you display that once more?" The hologram displayed the assault on Kepler Station. "Hey there." A lone dragon, clearly Zirian, plunged down from the emptiness of space, yet something felt off. The being glided with uncanny accuracy, its trajectory flawlessly determined. Where wings ought to have lifted it, smooth mechanical devices had assumed their role, buzzing with human ingenuity. Neural interface cables extended along its spine, yet these were far from the primitive Zephyrian biolinks. They were something much more advanced. On the back of the dragon, James Mitchell's hands moved gracefully over a bespoke control interface that appeared to integrate perfectly with the beast's nervous system. The Emperor observed with a mix of horror and intrigue as Zirian executed his maneuvers. No dragon should continue to live. It maneuvered through defensive fire with exacting precision, its mechanical wings fine-tuning thrust vectors in the blink of an eye. As plasma cannons locked onto its trajectory, the dragon appeared to foresee the shots even before they were unleashed. How, Vexthal questioned his military advisors. General Crichter reported with some hesitation that the human seems to have improved the creature. Our analysis indicates that he dedicated months to examining its neural patterns, mastering the ability to connect directly with its consciousness. He didn't merely fix the dragon, Your Majesty. He transformed it. In the heart of human-controlled space, James navigated Zirian through yet another maintenance cycle in their improvised hangar. The dragon's newly formed wings tucked neatly against its body, while neural diagnostic displays indicated flawless synchronization between its organic and artificial systems. What are your thoughts on the subtle changes to your spatial processing? James inquired, not with words but via the neural connection they possessed. Better than I have felt in cycles, Zirian's thoughts returned, filled with gratitude and a hint of something resembling affection. The changes enable me to experience space in ways my kind never envisioned. I am greater than my origins. James grinned, gliding his hand over the dragon's neck, where natural scales blended with artificial interface ports. That's the thing with people, my friend. We don't merely repair what's broken, we enhance it. Naz walked over from the other side of the hangar, holding intelligence reports. She announced that the Emperor had recalled 3 battle groups to safeguard his core systems. Our raids are effective. Good, James replied, his focus unwavering from the diagnostics before him, since we are only beginning. Half a year following the Emperor's merciless jest, the Zephyrian Empire encountered its initial significant loss in hundreds of years. Zirian commanded a squadron of altered dragons and other flawed beings that James had meticulously repaired and upgraded, launching an attack on the Empire's main shipyard. The confrontation was quick and conclusive, yet it was the subsequent message that genuinely broke Vexthal's resolve. Broadcast across every frequency in Zephyrian space, it depicted James next to Zirian, the dragon's eyes now shining with enhanced intelligence. Your Majesty, James's voice echoed through the emptiness. I appreciate the gift. It appears that humans possess a remarkable ability to repair what is broken and transform it into something extraordinary. He stopped, his weathered hand gently placed on Zirian's head. We now have 17 additional defective dragons, each one ready to demonstrate to their previous masters what they have transformed into. The broadcast shifted to visuals of the enhanced dragons soaring through the sky, their motions remarkably elegant. Their attacks were meticulously synchronized. They had transcended mere war machines, evolving into a groundbreaking amalgamation of instinct and human ingenuity that surpassed the individual components. Emperor Vexthal slouched in his throne, overwhelmed by the influx of reports detailing entire fleets deserting their positions instead of confronting the upgraded dragons. The present intended to belittle had transformed into the catalyst for the collapse of his empire. In the shadows of his vanquished throne room, the Emperor at last grasped the mistake of belittling humanity. They didn't merely engage in battle, they evolved. They didn't merely endure, they transformed. And they always, without fail, remembered an insult. The uprising surged across the galaxy, propelled by the rebirth of dragons, a testament to human creativity and empathy. At its core soared Zirian and James, a testament that even the harshest jest can lay the groundwork for something truly beautiful. The cosmos would forever be altered,